Mr. Smith, do you believe that the Supreme Court's decision on executive immunity constitutes an exoneration of the president's conduct in the months and weeks leading up to January 6th and on January 6th? Smith, no. Question, would you just explain that for us? Why you don't see that as an exoneration for what he did? Smith, sure. I understand the Supreme Court's decision. If I can just go back for a second. This was an issue we litigated in the district court. The district court agreed with us. We litigated it in the Court of Appeals. The Court of Appeals agreed with us. We litigated it in the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court majority did not agree with us. They took a view of executive power that was more expansive than we had argued. I disagreed with it for the reasons we set forth in our brief, and the reasons stated by the dissent in the case by Justice Sotomayor. But it was the law of the land, and what my office sought to do in responding to that was to follow the law and see if we still have a case. And I think the evidence that we had after the decision remained powerful. I talked earlier about state officials who put allegiance to the country before party. All those witnesses were still available to us. The heart of our case would still be available to us. And I think it is important to know that he abused his authority in the Justice Department as one way to effectuate this scheme. And this was about him as a candidate trying to say he won an election he didn't win. And so having to frame this in that manner limited some of the evidence. But why we had to supersede and that's why we had to supersede the indictment. But I don't think it was an exoneration because I still believe that there was substantial evidence that would allow us to prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt. Question,